pretty much when you're on the mountain, you live in your soft shell. So no matter what you have, pretty much on the bottom or the upper layering system, one thing you almost consistently always wear is the soft shell. Okay. Next thing we have is the feet. For the feet, you want some good thick socks. You can get these at Sports Authority or Dick's or online, but you definitely want some thick. Again, wool is one of the warmest materials, and it's also naturally wicking, has wicking properties, just like synthetic and polyester. But these wool socks are very warm for the mountain, so you're going to want 3 pairs of those. For the hands, you're going to want 3 pairs of gloves. They say a lightweight, midweight, and heavyweight and/or mitten. The lightweight you'll probably use the first day, so you want something similar to this. It's kind of like a wetsuit material. These gloves keep your hands very warm, but they're going to get soaking wet during days of precipitation, so you may want to have 2 pairs of those. One good trick too is to keep a pair inside your layers, so as you're walking up, one pair heats up and gets warm while the other gets cold and wet, and then part way up you can switch, take off the cold pair, put that inside so it heats up, and put on the nice toasty pair to keep your hands warm. So having 2 pairs of those to cycle them in and out, rewarming them and re-drying them is good. Interesting thing is that when you're on the mountain, pretty much aside from cooking, the only heat source you have is your own body. So anything that gets wet, you have to use your body to warm it up. Socks, gloves, put them in your sleeping bag at night to warm them up, or put them in your layers to warm them up. These are big mittens, good actually for a mountain like Everest, and more than enough for something like Rainier. On my first Rainier trip, my hands got extremely cold to the point of my cuticle on one of my thumbs actually starting to get frostbite. So definitely don't want to take any risks, and these gloves are nice and toasty. Put a hand warmer in one of those, and you'll be good to go. So those are the gloves. I also rent 1 pair of gloves there at Rainier, and they're the heavyweight climbing gloves, double layer, and I rent those for an extra pair of gloves. Between those 4 pairs, pretty much good with gloves. Also, what we have here is the head layer and the neck layer. So a couple things that you'll notice here is we've got a sun hat. If it's sunny, helps keep the sun out of your eyes. Again, you want to make sure it's a waterproof type material. Got a neck gaiter, and a neck gaiter is very versatile. Keeps your neck nice and toasty, but if you start to get into some wind, do one of those, and you can keep that wind off your face. Start to get real cold, do one of these, keep your ears cold, keep your ears warm, and that's why a neck gaiter is so versatile. You can move it around as needed, or take it off if you get hot. So you definitely want a neck gaiter. Bandana is actually pretty useful. Bandana is probably the only piece of cotton that you should really even think about bringing up on the mountain. Bandana is good because you can use it to wipe off your goggles if they start getting fogged up, or your glasses if they start getting fogged up. So you can keep this in a pocket, or if it's an extra sunny day and you want to be cool, you can put your bandana on, and you can put a hat on right up top, and you can be cool like this. Not so much, but bandana, good for wiping things down, so you may want to have one of those. In terms of extra warmth and protection, you've got your balaclava. Balaclava gives you some extreme protection when you start getting into some high winds and storms. you want to put on your balaclava. Balaclava gives you all-around protection, and again, you can move it down over your chin or up as far as your nose. You combine that with a neck gaiter. And you got some serious protection in a high storm. You always want a nice wool hat as well. Keep your head nice and toasty when it gets real cold. So you combine that with your neck gaiter, your balaclava. You're in good shape. Good shape right here. That's how it works. So layering system for the head, extremely important. Balaclava, neck gaiter, wool hat, bandana, sun hat, good shape. Okay, just a few more things here. Here's a variety of miscellaneous gear that you take with you on the mountain. Toiletry stuff that's going to go into one of the colored dry sacks. Of course, you got to take a dump on the mountain. You need some tissue paper, so you're going to have that. It's not pleasant to talk about, but it does happen on the mountain. Rainier has a carry out policy, so everything must be carried out. Everything must be carried out. Toilet paper. You're going to want a Purell. Keep your hands clean. No running water up in the mountain. You're going to want extra Purell to keep yourself really clean. Again, no running water on the mountain. Listerine, I found, is a good plus item. Helps keep your breath fresh, which is important when you're in those close quarters. 3 people sleeping right next to each other in a tent. Really more so for your tent mates than for yourself. So if they have bad breath, you can quell that and be alright. Toothbrush, toothpaste, luxury items up on the mountain, but for extended expeditions, you're definitely going to want this to keep your teeth clean. Yep. Also, a couple other things here. In terms of first aid, you're going to want to take care of yourself on the mountain. Most guide companies will have a large first aid supply that they'll take with them, but a couple things that I like to always have with me, just in case, are glow sticks. Have your own light source, just in case you need it. You never know when you're going to need that extra light source, so glow sticks are always a good backup to have. You're also going to want some lip protection, some SPF rated lip protection. It's pretty strange that you're going into a cold environment and yet you have to worry about getting sunburned. So you're going to want suntan lotion and SPF rated lip balm, lip ointment, lip moisturizer to keep your lips good to go on the mountain. What happens is the radiation just bounces up off the snow right onto your face, and you can get sunburned actually very quickly, very easily. You're going to want some earplugs because when you're in your tent and you've got a raging storm outside and it's all on the mountain with 50-mile-per-hour winds in a storm, and your tent's rocking and you got the sound of the snow beating against your tent and you're trying to sleep, you're going to want this to kind of drown it out so you can have some good sleep, also in case your tent mates snore. So helps protect you from your tent mates. Some medicine you're going to want to bring with you just in case. I've got Advil, I've got Motrin for heavier pain, muscles and stuff, and you're going to want some aspirin, help for that cardio situations that you may get yourself into on the mountain, help thin the blood down a little bit with the aspirin there, and make that oxygen travel a little bit easier. So you're going to want a small supply of that for you in case you need it. You're going to want some mole skin for your feet. You're essentially climbing 2 vertical miles up to the summit and 2 vertical miles down from the summit. That's a lot of climbing, and a vertical mile is nothing like a regular mile because you're traveling over rough terrain, snow,